messed up from before. I said that this young lady was my niece, and this is not my niece. This is my first cousin, once removed. It's Cassie Hamilton. She's the daughter of Jim and Teresa Hamilton, formerly Vasky, of Eve and Bernie Vasky. Eve formerly being the Gripshover, right? Teresa and Camillus. So it's my first cousin once removed. It's Mark Blanchett. This would be my mother's first cousin. So it would be my second cousin once removed. Me to him, I think I would be his first cousin once removed. It's a generation, right? So my mother's first cousins, and then his children and me would be second cousins. But he's my mother's first cousin. So it goes by generations, and then my children, and then his children's children would be third cousins. Samantha Kunkel. I'm not sure if this is what this is here. Maybe did she get married? I don't know if she got married. Could be a boyfriend. It's in church. It's a mass there. They're all dressed all fancified. This is my first cousin. So this is Alice Kunkel, formerly Gripshover, and Larry Kunkel's only daughter. This is the only daughter. So yes, Samantha Kunkel. It's my first cousin. Samuel Clarence Gripshover. Got that German beard, that red German beard, right? Is it blue eyes? So characteristic blue eyes. He shaved his head, so I can't really tell. It looks like there's a little bit of a recession. But he's a good father. He's the one that had the picture of the kid flipped upside down. So he's a fun father, right? He's a fun dad, and he's holding a baby. So what's not to like? Here's a Gripshover. Well, a lot of them became nuns. A lot of them went to the clergy. Um, and this is one of them. This is St. Walburg. They actually are raising a farm, and so they're sitting there like water and stuff. Um, and she's happy to be there. She's ecstatic. I'm so glad I chose the life of nunnery. I'm going to keep on nunning until I'm all nunned out. This is a class of children. It looks like a Catholic school. Maybe Sanford Town. Maybe Holy Guardian Angels. Maybe a Gripshover, one or two. They all look like about the same age, right? About 5, 6. Seem about the same height at least. There's all those boys are standing up. Oh, I'm big and tall. Look at me. And the girls that she doesn't look happy there. I'm not here. All Saints Parish. That's where I got my Catholic training at. The nuns at All Saints. Very strict. But I learned a lot of things, but actually it just made me more, I'm doing more of the rituals than everybody else and holding everybody else to a higher Catholic standard. You didn't genuflect? Well, you didn't do it right. You have to genuflect. If without the genuflection, that is, what kind of Catholic are you? What kind of Catholic doesn't genuflect before they get into the pew? I don't get it. I don't understand. I just don't understand. It just first don't genuflect. Next thing, homosexuality gonna be running rampant on the street. Then it'll be Saturnalia. Why don't we just go back to the Roman days? What did Jesus overturn the entire Roman order if we're just gonna go back to the Roman days? That's all. Benedictine sisters are the first teachers at the school, seen here in 1951. The pioneers, sisters the Immaculata Campbell. I don't even know Agdell, Gundy, Platts, Paul Curry, because of All Saints Parish. So that's why I did this one. Probably Gripshover christening with Gripshover parents, maybe father, right? Probably Gripshover father, Gripshover daughter with spouse, stone wall house in front of a window and shingles. Right. Trench coat mafia, cool dude smoking a cigarette, chilling. Got his old style picture, an old style house, and the old broken sidewalk, looking all desolate, alone in the middle of nowhere. It's how my family sees me, like Cayenne West with the glasses. This is how I see my family with a bunch of stripes through it because I'm wearing the Charles Lewis Blanchett. Charles Lewis Blanchett, this man owned a plantation, Blanchett Plantation Occupation. He's the one that is in Guadalupe, so he had 890 slaves. They did atrocious shit. They were French, but they let the French invade, or the British invade the island so they could keep the slave plantation going. So they want to keep the slave plantation going. So they denounced their French citizenship, their French nationality, because they had outlawed slavery in the colonies and let the British come over, and they, de facto invade and ruled the island for 10 years, I think, or so. In exchange for them allowing to keep their slaves. So they said that things were ruled the same way, but if they invaded, that means it took a while for them to finally. I don't know. They had traders. They had traders on the island, and then they also had. Supposedly, they established an independent government. Did the same thing actually in Mauritius and Bourbon Island, the island of France. So Charles Lewis Branch, he's one of the top dogs. He's like the second guy. I think this is Charles II. Charles II is Hyacinth, Hyacinth. So Hyacinth is, the big titan, and this would be his daddy. And then his father is Charles Blanchard. Then his dad's Pierre Baptiste, Jean Baptiste Blanchet. So it's Charles Lewis Blanchett. This is Dick Cheney. Says his company's made over 39 billion, so $39.5 billion. It's a dickhead. Chris diving, catching a ball in midair. Cuckoo. While in jeans, wearing sunglasses. Clarence Gripshover. He was in the fire of the 1977 Beverly Hills Supper Club fire. He succumbed to his wounds. I think months later. You can see he's bandaged up, right? He was burning the hands. I think it was his wounds he succumbed to. I'm not for sure. Months later, he died. 120 so people, nobody ever found out, and nobody was ever held responsible for the fire. Eugene Debs goes to jail 10 years. He's a socialist. Durst and Sarah Blanchett. He's got that old white beard, that old Father Time beard, not the old red German beard, but the old white beard. So where's the white beards coming from? Is that Swedish? Is that Swedish something? Odin? The Norse gods? What? Great Grandpa Durst. Again with the beard.